Hello, this homework is about equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, let's begin the lesson/homework. So here is an example of a question. It says find an equation of the line which is parallel to y equal minus 4x plus 3 and passing through the point minus 1 and 2. So what we need to know is that parallel line have got equal gradients to each other. So if we want to write the line which is parallel to that line, they must have an equal gradients. So gradient of that line is minus 4. So the line I'm going to write the equation of will have the gradient m of minus 4. Will be exactly the same, and then it will pass through the point of minus 1 and 2. So it's a very easy question. I have a gradient, I have a points, I have to write the equation. So the first thing I do, as like a previous homework, I have to find the c. In order to find c, I have to substitute m to my general formula for the equation of line, which is y equals mx plus c. Well, m, I have the m, so that m goes and sits there. I have x, which goes and sits there, and also I have y, which goes and sits there. So I have those three things. I'll put it into the equation and then I'll find the value for c. Let's do it. So y is 2 equal, m is minus 4, x is minus 1, so that's minus 4 times minus 1, and then I have plus c. So I simplify them. Minus 4 times minus 1 is just 4. Minus times minus is positive, so it's 4. 2 equal 4 plus c. It's a simple equation, one-step equation. You can just solve it. So what you have to do is take away 4 both sides, and then you end up with c. So they cancel out each other. You end up with c. I'll write it in front of it. C equal 2 minus 4 is minus 2. So you have your c. That's the c. You have your c. You have your m. All you need to do is write the equation using those two things. So it's going to be y equals minus 4x, and instead of c, I have to put minus 2. There you go. So that equation is parallel to that line and then passes through this point. Okay? So let's proceed to the next type of question. Find the equation of the line which is perpendicular to y equals 2x plus 4 and passing through the point 3 and 7. It's very similar to the previous question, but instead of being parallel, it's perpendicular. What it means for this question, one of the line will look like this, for example. The other line will be perpendicular like that. So the angle between them will be 90 degrees. So in terms of gradients, it is very important to know the gradients of two perpendicular lines have got a special relationship to each other, and that relation is that perpendicular line have gradients that multiply to make minus 1, with one of them being the negative reciprocal of the other. For example, so if you have the m for this line, which is 2, if you want to find the gradient of the perpendicular line to that line, you have to write 2 as a reciprocal. So you have to write the reciprocal of 2, which is, so the m of my new line is going to be reciprocal of 2, which is 1 over 2, and it has to have an opposite sign. So in this case, 2 has got the sign of positive, so your reciprocal should be opposite positive, which is negative. So what you do to find the gradient of a perpendicular line, you have to write the reciprocal with the opposite sign. So that's my m. And for my, and the rest is the same. So I have to find c. Okay? I have to find what c is. I have m, I have to find what c is. Now, I'm going to write, and I know it has to go through my point of 3 and 7. So again, like a previous question, I have a point there, and I have a gradient there. So I'm just going to write the equation of the line, just like previous question. So y equals mx plus c. I have m from there, I have x from there, and I have y from there. I put those values and then I find c. Okay, let's do it. So y is 7 equal, m is minus half, my x is 3, so times 3, then plus c. Okay, I'm just going to go on the top of the page and carry on there. So let's simplify a little bit. So it's going to be minus half times 3 is minus 3 over 2. So it's going to be 7 equals minus 3 over 2 plus c. Okay, now we want to get rid of minus 3 over 2, so we have to do the opposite, which is add. So you do add 3 over 2 on this side, and you add 3 over 2 on that side. On this side, they will cancel out each other. So equal stays where it is. On this side, you will have c. On this side, you will have 7 plus 3 over 2, which is going to be, 3 over 2 is 1.5, 1.5, so it's going to be 8.5. Remember, 3 over 2 is same as 1.5. Or you could have just written it as a fraction. So sometimes the numbers are not nice. So okay, now we have our c, and we have our m. That's our c, that's our m. So all we need to do is write the equation of the line, which I'm going to write here in green. So it's going to be y equals, the gradient was minus the reciprocal of x, and my c is 8.5 plus 8.5. That's the answer. Okay. That is very important to remember. Make sure you remember that. Here are some questions for you to try. The red section is the one is parallel, so that means the gradients are the same. For the yellow section, remember it's about perpendicular line, so you have to do opposite the sign of the reciprocal. So you have to write the reciprocal and then change the sign. And last section are the question you have to rearrange. So question like this, don't do anything till you rearrange them to write them in the form of y equals mx plus c. So you have to move a few things around, get that into that format first, and then start the question. Once you did those questions, take a picture and upload it on ClassChart. Have a good rest of the day.